had Conrad Murray, Aziza Brown and Kate Donnachie join Tanya in the studio. They're all part of the BAC Beatbox Academy. It's been running for 15 years and is now putting on a family show described as a reimagining of a medieval fairy tale featuring a cast of beatboxers, musicians and special guest performances. And if you wait to the end, you're in for a musical treat.
Well, it's the Pied Piper, based on the Pied Piper of Hamelin. But ours is Pied Piper Hip Hop Musical. Thought it was a good story because it's about a guy who makes music and gets people following through music. Because I run the academy, I was like, oh, I can see that, but like in the original story, it's quite dark story. So we wanted to kind of use some of that element but change it a little bit because all the kids follow the Pied Piper, and it was kind of like, actually, how can we use this story to kind of be about inspiration and creativity and kind of inspiration through music?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to do, is bring something that's so of another world and try and bring it into kind of, well, elements of our world. Now, you two both play in the Pied Piper,
yes.
Kate and Aziza. Tell me about kind of how you both fit into that and what roles you play in it.
So I play Robin, I'm the mayor's daughter.
Okay.
So the mayor is very much against the music, the singing, the creativity, all of those kinds of things. But Robin has a voice inside of her that she wants to get out of her. So sings a couple of bangers in the show as well.
And I play Crotchet, who is one of the town kids who works in the factory, and she comes from South Hamelin, which is like a more area that's, you know, sort of more poverty-stricken, and there's less, you know, going on there. So she sort of really keeps her head down. She's working at this pie factory because she's just, you know, she needs to make her money, support her family, go back home, and that's all she wants to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, she finds herself getting sucked up by this love for music as well. And I feel like that's quite a relatable story, you know, like the art just...
100%, even though it's a medieval story, those kind of themes of, like, you know, passion and following, you know, what you want to do, of course, are going to carry through until today. Now, Conrad, you initially set up an academy to teach people and also, I guess, harness their talent if they have got a talent for beatboxing. Tell me about kind of, you know, how that started. And I imagine a lot of people that go through the academy then go on to be your performers.
Yes, it's a great system. No, we started in 2008, so we've been going for quite a number of years. Basically, I wanted a place for other people to come like me, because I grew up in a local council estate, and I just felt like I really enjoyed the arts and theatre and performance, but there was nothing that had like beatboxing or rapping or the kind of things that I was interested in. And mixed with theatre, it was always kind of one thing or the other. So I was like, what if we start something and we could get loads of other young people coming together to learn how to beatbox. Beatboxing also is part of hip-hop culture, 50 years of hip-hop this year. Beatboxing and rapping, putting that stuff together, but also at the same time being creative, but also making friends, like and coming together. So like people have become, Kate's become for 10 years.
Wow. 10 years, congratulations.
So like also creating a network, friends, support, like often people will ask me to help them with a CV or write a reference, things like that. So it's an alternative to like if you haven't got music lessons or music provision as well. So although it's an alternative, like because it's got rap in it and beatboxing, to other like theatre things, also like maybe at school that's not you, or maybe you haven't had music lessons, but you're like, you know, I'm a great rapper, or you know, I think I'll be good at this. A lot of people come and they smash it. We've had people go to the West End. We've had people go on and become professional beatboxers and singers and actors, but also sometimes people come and when they leave they become a bus driver with the spirit of a beatboxer, or a plumber with, you know, the temperament of a spoken word artist, and that's all right.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I like what you said about, you know, it creates a community, because it's so hard in a big city to, you know, create those communities and find friends and find people that have similar interests to you. So this kind of thing, I can just see, really brings people together. 10 years, that's incredible. So when you first started at the academy, did you know, right, okay, I want to be a beatboxer? You were talking about it, I'm getting my words mixed up. Or was it something you just thought, oh, well, I'll try it out, and here you are 10 years later?
I originally went for, because we used to audition back in the day, and I went as a singer, because they did a call out for vocal artists, and I thought, well, I'll do a bit of singing. And I nearly didn't go to that audition, but I got over it, went, and honestly, like, since that day, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't go. But I started singing, And I think for the first 5 years, and then like people would, like all the other people would do their beatboxing, and then slowly I was like, oh, okay. And now, I class myself as a beatboxer, which is something that I never would have done.
Yeah.
And there's been so much that I found out about myself that I can do now. And I facilitate at the academy now, and you watch these kids, and like even in such a one term, the difference from coming in and they're like, they don't know what's going on, and then by the end they're doing foundation beats, the confidence, they're chatting to the others, like it's just such a lovely thing to see happen.
Yeah. And Aziza, what was your sort of journey into it? Did you audition? Did you know, okay, I want to be a beatboxer, and then you found the academy, or how did it work for you?
My route into the academy was, they do a lot of outreach work, and they get hired by a lot of schools and stuff. And I was actually on a scholarship at Lambda doing a course there, and we had a module about beatbox. And coming from a not so affluent background myself, I see myself reflected a lot in some of the kids at the academy, because it's like, we have these talents and we have these skills that we don't necessarily have the money to foster these skills unless we get these, bursaries and scholarships and free clubs that we can go to and work on those skills there. So I always feel like really, really proud when I see the kids there, because they're just smashing it. Because I did also some facilitating as well. While Kate was on tour with another show, I was covering for her. We got each other. I was covering for her and teaching there, and I was just like so impressed with all the kids, because they try and they like put their hardest in, and it's so vital to our society to have these spaces for kids. So
do you guys now feel like kind of the pioneers in being in, I guess, one of the like headline shows coming up in October? Are all the sort of kids looking up to you, isn't that I want to do that one day? What's all of that like for you?
It's so sweet, because we're working on songs as well, because there's a community chorus aspect to the show where in each sort of theatre we're going to connect with the kids of the local community, and then there's a moment in the show which will be different every city, and it's going to be kids from a theatre group or a school or whatever it may be. And in London, that's going to be the academy. So they're working on all their songs and they're working on all their bits for when they're in the show, and they're all really excited. So that's going to be great.
These guys are like superheroes to them. They like look up to them, like one day I'm going to be just like Kate or like Aziza, because they're in the show, the big show. So it's quite cool. It's quite a cool way of doing it, because like, also they're role models as well. So like they can look up to their behaviour and think you're cool, and like you're coming here and you're like you're not acting up. so it's, some of it is also about behaviour management and all those things. Like we're not really strict. It's actually quite open. But over time you do want to develop young people and kind of like show them different ways to do things.
Yeah, what does the 10,000 hour rule apply? They say you have to do something for 10,000 hours to be a master of it. Does that apply for beatboxing?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
You've got to put in the hours.
But I do think like it's one of those things that has quite an easy, it's quite easy to get into it, and it takes a long time to master it. Okay. But with some instruments like guitar, actually you sound quite rubbish quite early on, and it can be quite frustrating. With beatboxing, once you've got a little hi-hat, you can start jamming and getting into it. And people immediately feel like, I'm a beatboxer.
Okay.
So it's easy to want to come back and then learn about the singing or the rapping or just the beats. But it's the learning curve is quite fast to get into it. Yeah.
So you feel like you kind of have that, it's not beginner's luck, but it might feel like that, like, I can get going, I can do this, and then it gives you that confidence and that motivation to want to do it better. So have you got any of your sort of favourite songs that you perform in the show coming up? Have you got like one that you think, yes, I can't wait to do that one?
I think we could do a mix of a couple. I think my favourite has to be the end song, which is Kids Up, Rats Down. Okay. And we're in rehearsals this week, so it's kind of all happening and perfecting those songs.
Go on then, give us a taste. Or whatever you like.
Okay, you ready? Yo, welcome to Hamlin, where once upon a time anything could happen. A nation is so great, but the vision is faded, the colours are jaded. Welcome to Hamlin, where back in the day had feeling and passion. So misunderstood, it looks good from far, but far from good. It's a town that looks like yours, street lights, stray cats, front doors, but the kids here work every day for next to no pay. All sweat, no play. They work in a factory of pies, some say factory of lies. And it's just as bad for mom and dad, but the Mary assures them it's the best they ever had in Hamlin. So proud, they stand in old clothes and sing the top anthem so loud. We pledge with pride to the pastry, bake every day, make sure that they're tasty.
Even though we don't got no dough, we will go, we will go, we will go till we can't bake no more. I'm sick of working here. I don't get no chill, what a situation, no appreciation. Stuck in this location. I'm sick of working here. I don't get no chill, what a situation, no appreciation. Stuck in this location. Nobody knows what the facts. I come from the other side of the tracks. I live side by side with the rats. All the hustlers, window panes with the cracks. And that's why I use the music. Makes me feel like I can do it. I just wanna get home, make my money and go back home.
Amazing stuff. And Pied Piper, the new hip-hop musical, will be making its world premiere at London's historic Battersea Arts Centre on the 24th of October. And there will also be a UK tour. Okay, let's give you a reminder of the weather now and what's coming up on the weekend. And after a thundery and wet day, there's a little bit of ease up in that wet weather for this evening. Temperatures predicted to be around 15 degrees and overcast. Overnight, there's more rain expected with lows of around 12 degrees. On Saturday morning, temperatures around 13